yellowish again. Chromium green opaque. No, a dark sap green. That is really a beautiful color. I've been looking for those wasps here in the Passion for Pencils headquarters. I found 2 more dead ones close to a window. And it seems like they came in. There in the window there is a ventilation thing, and I think they were able to crawl in that and enter. I didn't find a nest anywhere, but I must say there are a couple of areas that I haven't looked yet, so I really need to do some further inspection. But by cleaning out this room over here, I can do that. I hope I find nothing. Let's create another one over here, like that. Yeah, it's better. I ordered a microphone. I hope that will improve the videos a little bit. And I have a lot more ideas, many more ideas for videos. I've been doing a little bit of research on the internet, mainly on YouTube. Looked for art channels just to see how they work, what kind of videos they have. But it turns out that the success of a channel is it's hard to figure out why a channel is so successful, because there are a couple of quite successful art channels, but they are completely different from each other. So that's interesting to see that I think the more authentic you are, the more appreciated your videos are. But if the videos have good quality, that helps. If they are online, if they are released on a regular basis, that helps. I'm just figuring that out. For example, the releasing videos on a regular basis. I try to do that, but you know, with my other work as a voice teacher, vocal coach, sometimes it's just not possible. And then there are weeks that I just I have too much other work, and then I cannot do the coloring videos. Here is black, because I think I need more darkness here. And I still consider this coloring and painting craze of mine really as a hobby. It got a little bit out of hand, that hobby. That's okay. This is earth green yellowish again. And I think you have noticed by now that I am using almost the same colors for these ones as I do here. Because it turns out that the colors are quite similar, and I'll show. Of course, there are many different types of trees and the colors differ, but as you see, the colors are quite similar, I think, so that is why I chose the same color range. I'm just adding a touch of this grass green here and there to give it a little bit of a fresh look. And other than that, it's just a matter of getting the darker tones in the right place, and of course I'm not working on a completely realistic drawing. I think compared to what I did last year in the watercolor along, I screwed this up completely, and well, I just left it for what it was, you know. Chromium green opaque. But right now I'm learning, and I'm also learning what to do in watercolor to make this happen, to make it work better. This is not perfect yet, but that's okay. I will learn. I'm confident about that. Let's put in some black over here. So yeah. I think next time I use watercolor on a similar subject, I think I will do much better. I've already added a touch of red to the bells, and I think I'm going to add slightly more warmth with this one, Golden Bismuth Yellow. It's a warm yellow tone, and if you don't have this one, then there is this one, dark cadmium yellow. Yeah, you can use that one too. But I'm now going for the Luminance because it is softer and it just works a little bit easier right now. I'm just adding a very light layer of this. Now there's another question that I need to answer. These highlights. Will I leave them completely white, or will I add a touch of color? I will use a pencil in it, so I'm going to, if I want to leave it white, I'm going to use a white pencil with a little bit of gray or whatever. I'm going to add pencil, yeah, but should I leave it as bright as it is right now, or should I give it a little more color? I don't know yet. Here I have Pale Geranium Lake Polychromos, because I do know that I want to make the highlights of this ribbon red, but not too dark. I want to keep the highlights and maybe you have noticed very shiny surfaces have very bright highlights, but other types of surfaces have less bright highlights and they have color. And while doing the decoration for Christmas in the living room, I had a red ribbon there, and I noticed that the highlights on the red ribbon are not completely white. I can show you. I'll bring it for you. So I went downstairs. Here I have it. This is something that my aunt makes. Every year we get a Christmas card, and then with this ornament. I have quite a few right now, and it's actually really nice when you hang it in the Christmas tree. And here is a piece of red ribbon, and as you can see, the highlight over here is not completely white, it's just a lighter red. Oh, this looks, do you see that? So I'm just going to make my highlights bright red and then the rest a little darker. Yeah. Just put a piece of paper under my hand. I don't want to smudge things too much. This is the Pale Geranium Lake again by Polychromos. Making tiny circles. It's really nice to have this piece of ribbon here. I can clearly see right now that the darker parts of the ribbon need to be darker in my drawing. Tomorrow night we have a rehearsal of the choir, And the night after that, on Wednesday night, we have a performance, an evensong, in one of my favorite churches in the beautiful town called Mijns Heerenland. And if you want a translation of the name of that town, that's a bit strange. Mijns Heerenland. My lord's land. My gentleman's land, something like that. Now, let's take a look at that ribbon. I have here another pencil, Polychromos also, dark red. I thought this would be too dark, but as I am keeping this ribbon here as a reference, I think it's not too dark. I think it would be a great color. Now my paper has a lot of tooth, so it handles a lot of layers. And if you are coloring on a thinner type of paper with less tooth, then maybe you will find that there's a limit to the amount of layers that you can add to the paper. And if you are experiencing that, maybe you have a couple of Luminance pencils or Prismacolor pencils. Those are the two pencils that I experienced as being able to lay down color when all other pencils fail. So I recommend you try one of these. The softer pencils. And there's something else that you could try. I haven't tried that yet with colored pencil, but I have the experience with soft pastels. Try a fixative. Fixative, you can use it to fixate the particles of the soft pastel, but it is also designed to give a little bit of tooth so you can add more. And that little bit of tooth may help you to add another layer of pencil. So you could try that too. But I would test it first just in case. Yeah. I need my glasses. So. And the pale Geranium Lake again. Something is wrong here. If I look at the highlight here of that ribbon, you can see that the highlight goes all the way from this side to the other one. And over here I have a darker line here and there, and that's not good. So, here's the Derwent electrical eraser to the rescue. This is pale Geranium Lake again. And I may need to add a couple of other red tones because it was not only pale Geranium Lake that was here. There were a couple of other colors, although I don't remember exactly which ones. Here I have deep Scarlet Red. I have no idea if it was there, but let's just give it a try. Maybe there was a Luminance pencil, could be. I've quite a bad memory when it comes to the colors that I used. This is pale Geranium Lake again. The Derwent eraser, I'm going to work on the highlights on the bow because it feels like it's not correct, and I think it is not correct, so I'm going to make some room. Be careful with erasing. If you have a lower quality paper, then you must be very careful. I'll show you what I discovered. Here I have that ribbon. I think if I act like this was this, then you can see the highlight is a lot more towards the end of this bow. So it's more over here than here in the middle. I could draw it here in the middle, but then the highlight on the bell would be in the wrong spot. So what's actually happening right now is a process of learning. I think this is very, very important. So I'm not focused on the fact that I made a mistake with the positioning of the highlight, but I'm more learning that when I do highlights, all the highlights must be consistent with the light source. So it comes from the right, and I already decided that here with the highlight on the bell. I have another problem over here. The clapper, you call it. Thank you for mentioning. So, but now let's continue to work on the bow. It's starting to make strange noises. I'm adjusting the camera a little bit because it's very cloudy, it's dark. It's December 19th today, so 2 days from the shortest day of the year. And then slowly the sun will return to the northern hemisphere, and I am very looking forward to that. Just putting on a very light layer of pale geranium lake. I lately found a lot of very nice YouTube channels all about art, drawing, painting, very nice. And a couple of them have very high, how do you say, they have a lot of followers. So I'm trying to figure out how that works. I have almost 17,000 followers right now. I am very impressed by that number. I never thought a channel like Passion for Pencils would reach 17,000 followers, so that's really, really nice. And there was also a girl, I believe she does watercolor. I forgot her name. Here I have dark red Polychromos. And in one of her videos she was answering questions, I believe, questions of the viewers. And she was telling that she was having some sort of chronic illness. And that hit me because that's interesting, because it looks like so many people who are active in the world of coloring and also painting are chronic disease patients. And the same goes for me. Today it is a migraine day. It's getting better already, so. But yeah, it struck me that so many people are having trouble with their health. Parylene brown, oh, here it is, Parylene brown, Luminance, just a touch of that gorgeous brownish red. And I find it very interesting that so many people with chronic illness pick up arts. And then they feel better. Maybe not physically feeling better, but their overall feeling of wellness improves. Well, that's good. I think I want to add a lighter red, but then a lighter red becomes either pink or orange, so I'm going to try this one, permanent red. It says permanent red, but it looks very orange. Let's see. That looks better. Yes. It's not perfect, absolutely not, but I'm not looking for perfection, I'm looking for beauty. That's it. Just if it looks good, beautiful, then it's okay, and I'm trying to do my best to learn things and stuff like that. This is the pale geranium lake again. So yeah, if you have a chronic disease and you enjoy watching videos about painting and coloring, but you haven't started doing it yourself yet, why don't you give it a try? So many of your fellow sufferers, that sounds very bad, but yeah, they really enjoy it. And you know, for people, for example, who have problems with their hands, arthritis or something else, there are devices that you can use to make it easier to hold your pencils. It's some sort of bands that you can put around the pencil, and then it's easier for you to hold it in your hand. Here is that permanent red by Luminance. For me, the biggest problem when I have migraines is that I cannot see clearly. My vision is blurred a little bit, but I found that reading glasses help me to see a little bit better. And I'm using reading glasses anyway right now, so but it really helps. So if you have a headache or vision problems, just try glasses or a magnifying glass. People are using that too. Works very well. Here, this area should be darker. The light comes from the right, and then somewhere over here I think there will be a transition from lighter to darker. So here's my Polychromos dark red again. With a light touch, I'm slowly adding more color here. Same here. Tonight we will be singing in a church, an evensong. And that's all I will be singing this year when it comes to Christmas performances. It looks a bit scratchy. Not completely happy with it. Parylene brown. By Luminance. When nothing works anymore, go to Luminance or Prismacolor. Pablo can do wonderful things too. Caran Pablo. I think I should try them combined with the Pro Color pencils. Here, Caput Mortuum Violet. The paper over here is completely saturated by now. I can add more colors, but I need to switch to Luminance pencils. Here I have a Crimson Aubergine. Aubergine, in English you say eggplant. And just with a light touch and a bit of patience, you can see a subtle layer of color coming on the paper. That's good. I'm just taking my time. Let's take a step back. That looks so much better, especially this side. Over here I need to do some more work, but this looks so much better.